Ooh, this could be funny. No, all right. Oh, right, let's go over here. Good morning, good afternoon and good evening, and you join me on the exit curb of turn 1 at Bayford Meadows. Meadows by name only really, because there is no meadow from what I understand, and we're also in the middle of an industrial estate. So, I mean, maybe at one point this was a meadow, but no longer. It's now a go-kart circuit, and quite a fun go-kart circuit as well. Probably the most technical circuit on the calendar, and I remember when I first started with Club 100 4 years ago now, after a reasonable hiatus from go-kart racing, this was the first circuit that I came back to. I'm not going to link you the video to go and watch because it's an awful video, but it was my first foray back into go-kart racing, and yeah, it's a really fun little circuit. It's one that looks like it's going to be really difficult to overtake at, but actually pretty much every corner is an overtaking opportunity bar one or two. For example, going into this particular corner right here is a great overtaking position. This is turn 3. You've got like a really quick little flick, which is going to be flickier, but it will be flickier. It's going to be quicker this year now that the karts have got a bit more power. I don't know what tyres we're running, but if we're running the same tyres as we did at Rye House, there's going to be significantly more grip as well. They were grippier tyres on the Dunlop, so we'll see. Yeah, if I remember rightly, when we were here last, you're pretty much braking on that apex, whereas maybe it'll be a bit of a different way of taking that corner, but who knows. Into a hairpin, and then you've got a selection of kind of infield hairpins, your classic kind of 180 and then 180 again on a go-kart circuit sort of thing. But yeah, good circuit. We like Bayford Meadows. It's good fun. Is that Dad? Bugger me, he's got here quickly. Anyway, yeah, classic 180s in the infield here, but very overtakeable. So you've got a long enough run from that first proper hairpin to this sort of ever tightening radius jobby, and then kind of like it comes back on you, so that if you want to make the best of the next right-hand 180, you do have to come across the left, but that opens up the inside for someone to potentially throw it down you. But yeah, it's a good fun little circuit is Bayford Meadows. It's not got the most elevation. You've got a tiny little bit of a rise into turn 1, a bit of a rise into the final little chicane, which is quite fun. But yeah, we like it. It's good fun. It'll be interesting to see how the extra power and things like that affect the racing. So in poetic fashion, as we reach the back straight, let's think back to the last round at Rye House. It was a bit mixed, wasn't it? Some good qualifying, and then I think both race 1s in the SP40 and SP60, if I can remember rightly, were pretty good. And then abysmal race 2 is just not good at all. So yeah, we'll try and rectify that today. I think from what I remember, the SP40 grid is slightly smaller this weekend. I think the SP60 grid's a bit smaller as well, as is the sprints tomorrow. This is normally the way with Club 100, being that we're now in August. People tend to be going away on their holidays, so the grid sizes tend to be a little bit smaller in August. But we carry on regardless, and hopefully anyone that is in a position to kind of fight a little bit in the championship ends up having to take a drop round from a round they weren't at, which is beneficial for me. The first races were okay, normally from the fact that I was starting more towards the front of the grid from good qualifyings. I remember in the SP60 or SP40 race 1 at Rye House, I think I still managed to get a decent lap out of the first race, even though the front end was not amazing on the kart. So that kind of helped out race 2, but race 2 just didn't go as I'd have liked after a restart. So we'll have to consider that again today, if it happens, should it happen. And then the SP60 race, I was just being a big old fanny and not attacking enough. It's the, I suppose at the time, I suppose even now, it was a kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't moment, but at the same time, I don't know, other than kind of going, oh yeah, I'm happy to finish in third. I should have just been like, well, no, the only way I can actually move forward is by moving forward, so screw it, let's try something. So maybe that's the mentality today, screw it, let's try something. And we'll see how that goes. Maybe that will produce better results in races like that. So as we zoom towards the end of the race circuit, let's have a think about the end of this intro. Aims. What could our aims be for today? Well, aims so far haven't gone all that well, have they? Especially for the SP40. The SP40, this is, by the way, an interesting little bit of circuit. If you sort of run wide here, this geoblock, it doesn't offer you much grip at all, and gets very bumpy, so hopefully not be on there for too much of today. But yeah, what could aims be for today? I think even though you still have some of the really sort of top caliber cameos in the SP40, the aim there is still to try and get a podium. And I haven't had a podium for the SP40 all year, which is frustrating now at this point. So it's not going to be like the be all and end all, but I would like to try and get rid of that goose egg on the podium scoreboard, as it were, for SP40. And the SP60 is still very much more of the same, aiming to get a podium. Ideally, if we can come out of the weekend with an equal to or better score than Ryan, because I think at this point, unless Anwar either doesn't turn up or has an absolutely awful end of the year, I kind of feel like he's got to the point where he's gotten away with the SP60 title, so it's kind of like playing for runner-up. And I would like the number 2 back. Obviously last year we famously did not live up to number 2 billing and ended up 6th, but yeah, it'd be nice to try and get the number 2 back. So in order to do that, at the moment, championship-wise, Ryan is the closest to me, so I need to try and finish with a better score than Ryan, or at least make sure that I'm close to him. So that's the aim. Try and break the goose egg for SP40 and get on the podium for SP60, so we shall see. Right, in the van to try and lower the volume a little bit because it is still quite noisy. So yeah, qualifying was good. Got a decent kart, really low grip, but it felt quite nice because it meant that you could rotate the kart a little bit differently, which with such long corners actually sort of helped out a little bit, and then the motor felt good as well. So qualified P2, which was good, and then off the start it was always going to be difficult. So being you've got like 3 consecutive right-handers, being on the outside of the grid, not ideal, but dropped back to 4th, which at the end of the day isn't too bad. and then just had no motor at all. I mean, for reference, I mean, I was losing about a second a lap. My best lap was 7 or 8 tenths off what I did in qualifying, and that's over 1 lap. So I mean, obviously you're not doing your best lap every single lap. So yeah, starting 10th on the second race, which to be fair is a lot better than I thought it was going to be, but still on the outside. Hopefully we can pull something a bit better and make the way up a little bit and try and make something of the second race. But yeah, frustrating because again it's a good qualifying performance and then let down over something that I didn't have any control over. So hey, here's what it is, happened now, can't change it. So on to race number 2, see how that one goes.
better. Race 2. Yeah, much better car, although again not difficult compared to the first one. And then yeah, it was a tricky one because I made a mistake and Stuart got past. But then I think I didn't go for the move too early because I kind of felt that anywhere I would do it, it would lose a significant amount of time. And I wanted to try and minimise time loss as much as possible. And he was right to go for the move when he did because I made a mistake, but if he'd have stayed behind and pushed because he had slightly better bottom end, I think we possibly could have caught up with Mikey, and then when the guys started fighting, or even if we didn't catch up but we started fighting, they started fighting, then maybe could have made something of it. But 5th in the end, not sure what the overall is, but it was a better performance, and hopefully can have some of the more the same in terms of kart draw luck in race number 2. Not race number 2, in the ep.6 for race 1 and 2. So see how it goes.
Send him. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, that.
Mate, you just got to send him. Seriously. I'm not. The thing is, like I said, it's better to just be in control, right? Get to his bumper, do him, control the race. It's another thing. Like if you're trying to like gap for a race, you're trying to pull away from everyone, that's fine. But there comes a point where you've got to pull the pin on the grenade and just take charge. You know. Honestly, mate, that race was there for the taking. I think you just got to send him.
Right, racing driver excuse.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. I know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that if the rear had been just a tiny bit better, I'd have had more confidence to do it.
Yeah.
Because going in, he was holding it just tight enough into there that I was just like, if I send it through there, there's going to be contact, and then that's going to get messy.
Yeah.
And I was aware that Stuart was still pretty close behind, and then it was all the areas where I knew I was faster. I just needed that tiny bit more coming out of the corners before it to stop it from going.
Look, I get that, but here's my thing: like, if you over a lap have enough in the tank to be on his bumper for 2 or 3 corners every single lap, you've got enough to do it. Right? And for me, like you said it even on your own podcast, right? You sort of spend time like thinking about, okay, this is where I'm going to do it. This is where I'm going to do it here. I'm going to do it there. I know that I'm confident here and confident there. You would have known down here you had the confidence, right? Because you were quicker than him through here all the way. This whole first sector, you were the fastest too, right? No doubt about it. That other sector, particularly out of this one here onto this middle straight and then down around there, he seemed to have a little bit for some reason, right? Yeah. But honestly, as soon as you got onto a bumper here, I would have sent it. Yeah. And then sent or done it down there or into hairpin one. Yeah. The time you actually did do into hairpin one, I thought great, but you didn't go deep enough. No. Honestly, mate, as soon as you're on his bumper, I don't care. Like if I've got a cart under me that I'm not 100% sure, if I'm on your bumper, I'm going. Yeah. Just go. Don't wait. Yeah. Don't stand on ceremony. Just go for it.
Then I say, like at least then you're in front and you can dictate what you do.
Exactly. Yeah. Look, I'm not saying you send it and then you white line for 20 minutes, but sometimes it's just better to think about the race as to who's in control. And like I said to you earlier, that sometimes being in P2, you actually are in control, whether the guy in front knows it or not. Yeah. Because you know, whilst he's in front, you're shaping up, you're learning, you're understanding, you're gapping the guys behind. Fine. But at some point, there becomes a crossover point between where you're in control and then you're handing over control to him. You're leaving it too late. Yeah. Go for it. Send him. I think you'll watch the race back like this week. You'll think to yourself, there'll be loads of places you could have done it. Yeah. And just been clinical. You made his life easy. Yeah. Super easy. He's recording. I don't want to jump in. We're just talking about how he basically made your life easy and fannied around behind you. Yeah. No, I appreciate it. It's good. Well, we had a strategy, didn't we? We discussed, well, I'll win the first one.
And then I'll win.
That was the strategy.
Yeah, that was strategy.
Well, I did ask him if you were paying for his race entry today, because that's what it looked like today.
Yeah, we're against each other, so we can't really work.
No, not really. No.
Yeah. You cleared off. You don't need to worry about it. You cannot turn up to the last.
I mean, I have held up my end of the bargain now, though.
Yeah. No. Well, please, I won't even look behind again. So you have to make sure you're known this time, because I didn't know.
Honestly, that was a frustrating race to watch.
You were, because I was only keeping tabs on you, and I could see you were gaining like a tenth for that.
There was a point where I was taking about a tenth to 10th and a half out of you guys, and then we hit the traffic, and I got stitched up a bit. But I was never close enough.
No, I settled.
What was the gap for you?
I was about 3 seconds off. Yeah. It was literally like a 10th and a half here and there.
Yeah. I'm glad you started 10th.
Yeah, it took me a while. I also went through, so on the exit at 2 and 3, there's that little grass bit where the gap in the tyres, I had to go through there.
Did you?
So I think I came out about 14th in the end.
Oh, wow.
But, that race was messy though, to be fair.
Like, that was the worst start we'd had all day.
What actually happened?
I think Andrew got loaded up and then I was just collateral damage, and whoever was behind me got one ride as well.
Yeah.
I don't know what I dropped back to, but it wasn't second.
I think you're about 6th, I was going to say when I looked.
Yeah, because you were about 4-4.
I got into 3rd basically by here.
Yeah.
But I don't really know how it got messy really. I'm going to have to look at my footage to work out what actually happened. But then I ain't got many people in front of me. I don't really know where it all started.
I don't know where it started. I was on the outside of it, but I couldn't see it. I couldn't see what happened. I didn't even see Andy get loaded. I saw you go wide. But it wasn't until we came, I think, onto the back straight, so I saw Andy was in like 5th or 6th. I don't know what happened.
On to the next one.
Oh yeah.
another second. But I've apparently liked second for SP60 today. Second in qualifying. Could have been pole, but just got snuck out by Andrew at the end. Although in hindsight, it was probably a good thing I didn't get pole and was second, because he did not have a kart to fight with in race number 1. So that did me just fine. And then finished second, so second in race number 2. And got past Ryan, Anwar then got past me, and then from that point on, it was probably the hardest fought battle that I've had in Club 100. It was about, 20 minutes? No, yeah, 20 minutes of just constant pressure from Andrew behind. And then a few times he was able to get up the inside and just managed to keep it. And I knew I had to, every time he sort of got alongside or nearly sort of pulled out in front of, I have to get back past him now, otherwise it's not going to happen. So was able to do that, and then was absolutely shattered at the end of that race. P2 overall. So all the seconds, missed out on the top step because of Anwar getting a win, and we tied on points. So his win was like the tie break over my 2 seconds. So a good end to the day. SP40 could have been better, but SP60 was a good time. So until next time, which will be at Clay Pigeon, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, have a good one.